Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fisayo, but you could call me Tiny. And if this is your first time on my channel, welcome. I'm in good spirits today because I'm feeling better, and everything, and God is good, and just everything's good. I hope you're good too. I hope you're in good spirits. I hope everything's working out for you. And yeah, so basically today, like, I'm just going to put you guys on to the things I feel like you should know before moving to the UK, or the things I wish I knew before moving to the UK. Like, so yeah, first thing is generally colder than Africa, especially, like, I mean, if you're African, if you're moving to the UK from Africa, you just need to understand that it's just cold here. Like, it's cold out here. I mean, yeah, it's not like, well, obviously winter is colder. I mean, they make you think summer is like hot and stuff like that. Summer is quite hot. I mean, there are some days that get extremely hot, but generally it's quite windy. I mean, it can get windy even with the sun being out. Does that make sense? So just understand that. And I've got asthma, and even in Nigeria, like Nigeria is hot, I usually get cold. So it's like, just coming here, I just had to adjust to the weather and everything. So yeah, the second thing, the cost of living is quite high. So the cost of living is high in the sense that there's just a lot of things you have to pay for. Like, just too many things. I mean, why can't you dash me? Like, would it hurt you if you dash me my rent? Would it hurt you if you say, you know what, don't pay rent for this month, just enjoy? I mean, would that hurt you if you tell me, you know what, don't pay for your food, just enjoy the food? Would it hurt you if you did that? The cost of living, yeah, the cost of living is high. I mean, not too high that it's unbearable, but it's like, I mean, just as the money comes in, it's going out. So yeah. Yeah, so the next thing I've just come to learn about the UK, or just living in the UK, basically, it can get lonely. It can get lonely. I mean, just living in your house, just living by yourself and just being alone. I mean, you will feel those times where you might, when I started living in, like, I know I had this phase that I didn't know if I was getting depressed, I didn't know if I was going through something, like I was just constantly sad, constantly crying, and I'm really emotional. So like, I mean, it didn't take long for the water to come out. It did not take long. So like, I was just crying, I mean, just being by myself all the time. And your neighbors might not talk to you, your neighbors might not necessarily like you, they might not really, I mean, it's not like Nigeria that you're walking on the street and you see a few people that you're just saying hi. I mean, that happens here as well, but there's like high chances that you probably wouldn't talk to your neighbors and you just be in your room by yourself watching Netflix. And yeah, so the next thing, yes, I feel like this one's quite important because when people move to the UK, especially people from Africa, like, well, just like people from Nigeria, like the idea is, oh, like I'm moving to a more developed country and I'm like going to get like better opportunities and do better with my life. That is true, but I'm just reading it from my phone because I just said the points down. I don't want to forget things, so because I forget things easily, and I just always digress when I talk. So just yeah. So yeah, it may not be rosy at first, especially your first job. I mean, you'd have to start from somewhere. It may not be rosy because when you're coming here with high hopes, high spirits, like, what, I'm greener pasture, I'm going to do better with my life and stuff like that. But I mean, when you get here, you might find that what the job you're doing, your first job here, might be really beneath you compared to what you used to do in your country. I mean, that has been like a lot of people's story. But the thing is, like, where you start from, your starting point is what gingers you, is what motivates you to want to do better, to want to get a better job, to want to really chase the greener pasture. Does that make sense? So yeah, you have to just understand that. So I mean, doing those things can make you feel like, well, you know what, back in my country, I was earning better, when I had a car, I was living well, I was a lawyer, I was a this or that. I'm not a lawyer, I'm just saying, like, that's just an example. But so people, you can have that, you can feel like, what, is this even worth it and stuff like that. But I'm just here to tell you that when you get here, you start from somewhere. I mean, some people are lucky, that to really start from where they want. I mean, that's fine, like, we all want that. But in most cases, it may not be like that. Literally, you're starting almost all over again and you're just trying to find your feet. So I mean, don't feel bad. Personally, you might feel like, oh, but I used to do this and I used to have meeting with important people in my country, and I just used to do high class things in my country. And I'm just telling you that you shouldn't feel bad. You have to start from somewhere. you have to. And I mean, jobs pay well here anyway. The thing with the UK is, or just, you know, just moving out of Nigeria, is that if you can work, you get paid. It's not like Nigeria that you will find job, you may not necessarily get the job. If you get the job, you probably be underpaid. I mean, a lot of people are well paid in Nigeria, but not all people, right? That's my point. Like, if you can work, you will get paid. Like, literally, like, if you work, you get paid here. Like, if you put in your hours, you get paid. Like, it's not even anything like, oh, I worked, they didn't pay me. Nah. So that's one good thing. That's why you need to understand that as much as you're doing this job, you're getting paid. And the thing is, I remember what my friend told me when I got here. He was like, see, what's that you're complaining? Once your first pay hits your account, you wouldn't even think about the job anymore. You wouldn't think you don't like the job, because when you see what you can use the money for and see how, you know, how well paid you are for doing, you know, the job that you don't even like, right? You just think to yourself that, you know what, money must be made. And yeah, so that's just it. So my point is, it may not be rosy for you at first. It might be difficult, you know, money might be really tight. You might just be really living from just, you know, trying to make everything make sense, trying to pay your rent, struggling to pay rent, struggling to pay everything, and just trying. Yeah, it may not be rosy at first, but it will get better. It will get better. Take it from me. Not necessarily jump into living large, but it will get better. So yeah. So the next thing, for people that are coming to go to for people that are coming to do their masters or just like uni and stuff like that, classes are just heavily based online. And why I'm saying heavily based online is not like we don't use laptops in Nigeria. I mean, I've always had a laptop. We've always, you know, used in gadgets, but especially with COVID, you don't really have to go into someone's office to say, oh, I need you to sign this. I mean, you sign it online and submit it. Like, there's so many things, your forms, your classes, everything. Like, you just go to the website or go to the app or go to the school app and just check. With the pandemic, everything has become heavily based online. So I mean, if you're not really like vast with like technology and just vast with using online services, you might want to get onto that. So yeah. So the next thing, you'd most likely I can't get my words. You would most likely move out of your first apartment in the first year. In your first year, literally. Usually when people get here, they get the first apartment they can get, like, just, you know, to have a place to stay and stuff like that. And while you're living there, you think to yourself, you know what, I don't really like this place. And you see your friends that they have like better accommodations, and, you know, maybe for the same price range, and you're thinking, oh, why did I get this place? Like, that's been the case of most people. They just think like, why am I in this place when I can be in somewhere better for almost the same amount, right? So usually a lot of people always end up moving out of the first place they get, because you get your first place in a rush and you don't really know, you don't really see, like, you're not really even trying to waste time. You just want to get a place to stay, right? So yeah, you would most likely move out of your first place. So if you're living in a place where you don't like, and that's like your first house, you already just keep it at the back of your mind, like, you know what, it's just a matter of time. I'm going to move out when I, you know, get a better job and blah 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 blah. And yeah. So the next thing, African food is not as expensive as they make it seem. Because before I came here, I know how they say, oh, to get this is so expensive, to get blah blah blah. So it's not that expensive. It's not even particularly expensive. I know yam is quite expensive, but rice is not expensive. I mean, chicken, just things that you can cook, right? They're not particularly as expensive as people make it seem. Like, literally, because when I was coming, I had the notion that, oh, would I even be able to eat African food? Would I even be able to keep up eating African food? I eat African food every day here. I cook literally African food every day. I live here like I live in Nigeria, literally. Like, the things I eat here are just Nigerian food. So it's like, it's not expensive as people make it seem. So just don't worry about maybe, oh, would I find African food? You will find African food at affordable rates. So I mean, some things are expensive, like maybe a few like food items that are quite scarce might be, you know, not particularly expensive, but, you know, quite high in price. But you can still, you know, get something to eat and get something to cook and get food items at reasonable rates. So you'd most likely experience racism. And no shade to anybody, like, I've met a lot of nice people and stuff like that, but I mean, just, you know, racism is real, and I've experienced it firsthand. I experienced it on the flight here. I experienced it, you know, here and there, just people just talking to you a type of way. And yeah, I mean, it's nothing serious. Like, just prepare your mind that, you know what, like, because basically I'm from Africa, where a lot of people are black, so like, there's no racism, there's just maybe favoritism and stuff like that, but not like racism, right? So I mean, yeah, I mean, you most likely experience one or two like discriminations just because of your skin color. Like, don't let it get to you. I mean, it's just it's the world we live. Like, I mean, so yeah, you would most likely experience racism. So just don't feel bad when someone does something that you don't like. Not everybody would, you know, like black people, but I mean, 80% of people here are nice. So it's not like maybe everybody is racist and stuff like that. No, like I mean, like a lot of people are nice. So I'm just saying, like, you know, there'll be just one or two people that just don't fuck with black people, and yeah. So yeah. As regards relationships, I know people come here like, oh, meet better guys. I mean, the fact that you're coming to an advanced country doesn't necessarily mean that the guys here are better. I mean, yeah, you might find some good seeds here and there, but I mean, there are fuck boys everywhere in the world. There are fuck girls everywhere in the world. So like, if you think, oh, I'm going to find someone better, and I mean, yeah, like, I don't want to spoil like your vibe, like, yeah, we all want someone better, we're all looking for, you know, someone that'll make us happy. But I'm just saying, don't think, oh, maybe the first person you meet or the second person you meet, or like, this is the one, and blah blah blah. I mean, you want to take your time to study them, you want to take your time to get to know them, and just be sure that you're not setting yourself up for heartbreak. Also, in this vein about relationships, there are certain things you would need to adjust to. I think just the way the way relationships are here are, I mean, it's not particularly how they are in Nigeria, I think. I'm just saying, like, just don't think like, maybe unless you meet someone that is like maybe African, and then maybe you guys like are just like from the same place, then that's fine. I mean, there are so many things that mean a lot, or that don't really mean anything, that maybe you think you feel some type of way about it. Just, I mean, just, you know, just be ready to adapt to the way relationships are here, especially if you want to date someone that is already here, that lives here, that, you know, has spent maybe their whole life here. You want to be open to, you know, certain things that you wouldn't necessarily like. How do I say? I'm not trying to say maybe something you wouldn't like, but I'm just saying, like, it might be, the pattern of the relationship might be different. Does that make sense? The pattern might be different, not too different, but just like. And I feel like this is really important as well. You need to be open-minded, because like, obviously in Africa there are so many things and so many, like, how people feel about, you know, like gay people, and just you know, how the stereotype, like, oh, blah blah blah. Here, if you're coming to, you know, an advanced country, or just, you just have to be open-minded. You have to see that, you know, like, people, regardless of their sexuality, it doesn't mean they're bad people. It doesn't mean, like, it doesn't mean, you know, they're not nice. It doesn't mean anything. It's just, you know, it's just who they are, and, you know, and that's fine. You have to be able to accept that, you know what, this person is gay, and that's fine. This person is this, and that's fine. You know, like, it doesn't, you don't have to be close-minded and be like, because I know, like, a lot of Africans in Africa, we just have this mindset, blah blah blah. But when you come here, you just want to really be open, because at the end of the day, like, I mean, some of the nicest people you meet probably don't follow your norms of maybe sexuality or religion and stuff like that, and that's fine. Like, like, yeah, so don't be close-minded, be open-minded, try to explore new things, try to like meet people. It's really important to really like network, meet people, try to, like, you know, have a nice circle of friends that, you know, that will be useful for you. I mean, yeah, you want to be a good friend as well. If you're that friend that would always like get from people and not give back, you may not find any friend. This place, and yeah, this place is quite like, they would clear you to your face, and yeah, like, you have to be able to, yeah, not like hide your feelings. I feel like when you're feeling, because in Nigeria we're so used to I don't want to say because I don't want to fight. I'm like this, like I don't want things to be awkward, so I just don't want things to be uncomfortable. I just won't say, like, you know, what this person has done to me is annoying. You don't want to be like that. You really want to say your mind, because people won't see the wrong they're doing to you, and they wouldn't know they're doing anything bad. They just keep on doing it. Or if you're not talking and they know, oh, this one won't talk, they'll just take advantage of you. So you want to talk about anything anybody has done to you. I mean, not necessarily like have an argument, but you want to tell them, you know what, I don't like what you just did, and I think blah 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 blah. I mean, period. Like, so yeah, I think that's all I can think of right now. If you're moving to the UK, best of luck, and I just wish you all the good things life has to offer. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.